Welcome back to Beyond the Gates, Spoilers, your absolute favorite destination for the most explosive, jaw-dropping, and scandalous updates from the chaotic streets of Fairmont Crest. The community has been completely reeling from the devastating warehouse shootout, the tragic loss of a beloved hero, and the absolute madness of the Platinum Deb cotillion. We have barely had a moment to catch our collective breath, but Friday, May 29, is about to bring a massive tidal wave of drama that will leave Fairmont Crest forever changed. Let's dive right into the deep end of the madness. Beyond the Gates spoilers, we have been tracking this Grayson situation for weeks, and Friday's episode brings a revelation that has absolutely boiled my blood. The spoilers reveal that Grayson actually had the audacity to ask Ashley to take care of Grayson's mother should something happen to Grayson. Can you believe it? Let's be real for a second. Grayson is absolute trash for putting this monumental emotional burden on Ashley. Ashley just watched Derek die a horrific death. Derek's final words were literally, "Ashley's name." Derek died on the operating table because Derek ran into a blazing warehouse to save Jacob and Grayson from the plasma ring enforcer Wren. And now, Grayson wants to manipulate Ashley into becoming the caretaker for Grayson's mother? That is crazy. I personally believe this is one of the most toxic, manipulative moves Grayson could possibly make. Grayson lied to Ashley for weeks. Grayson sneaked around, dealing with Elon's criminal underworld, getting tangled up in the illegal plasma ring, and bringing extreme danger to everyone in Fairmont Crest. And instead of taking accountability, Grayson uses Grayson's vulnerable mother, who is currently residing in a nursing home, as a pawn to keep Ashley emotionally tethered to Grayson. This reminds Beyond the Gates spoilers of the classic manipulation tactics used by the DiMera family over on Days of Our Lives a decade ago. Stefano DiMera would constantly trap victims using family loyalty and guilt. Grayson is doing the exact same thing to Ashley on a deeply pathetic, emotional level. Ashley is a victim here, and Ashley needs to run far, far away from Grayson. Speaking of the cotillion amidst all this darkness, we must take a brief moment to acknowledge how incredibly dapper the men looked dressed for the high society event. Amidst the blood and the tears of the warehouse tragedy, the visual contrast of the Platinum Deb ball was absolutely stunning. Tyrell, Martin, Donnell, and Vernon looked like absolute royalty stepping out of a classic Hollywood film. Tyrell looked especially sharp before Tyrell sneaked away to the beach house to consummate Tyrell's relationship with Jessica. The sharp tuxedos, the elegant cufflinks, specifically the cufflinks Donald wore that sparked a massive fight with Deanna because the cufflinks belonged to Joey, added such a rich layer of visual storytelling. The men of Fairmont Crest certainly know how to dress for a scandal. Amazing! But here's the kicker. The glamorous clothes cannot hide the ugly truths hiding underneath. Jacob's undercover assignment investigating the plasma ring may officially be over, but now Jacob and Naomi have to deal with the catastrophic fallout. Friday's episode will focus heavily on the shattered trust between Jacob and Naomi. Jacob survived the warehouse shootout by passing out from a head injury, avoiding the bullets that tragically ended Derek's life. But Naomi spent the entire cotillion paralyzed with fear, obsessively checking a burner phone, waiting for the worst-case scenario. Naomi and Derek were best friends. Naomi loved Derek deeply. Now Derek is dead, and Jacob is the reason Derek was in that warehouse in the first place. If you ask me, this is a huge mistake, because Jacob prioritized the thrill of the undercover investigation over the safety of Jacob's own family. How can Naomi ever look at Jacob the same way again? Naomi will undoubtedly blame Jacob for Derek's senseless death. The psychological damage inflicted upon Naomi is profound. Naomi relies on Andre and Danny for comfort, But Jacob is the one who shattered Naomi's world. Beyond the Gates, Spoilers predicts that Naomi will demand a separation. The internal logic of the show dictates that a betrayal of this magnitude, resulting in the death of a best friend, cannot be resolved with a simple apology. Jacob's lies have poisoned Jacob's marriage, perhaps beyond repair. And speaking of relationships facing massive interruptions, let us shift our focus to the matriarch and patriarch of the Dupree family. Anita and Vernon are finally clear to make love again. After weeks of intense stress, micromanaging Samantha's chaotic path to becoming the true Platinum Deb, and dealing with the massive public relations nightmare of Francesca's temporary drunken crowning, Anita and Vernon just want a moment of passionate intimacy. But you won't believe what happens next. The spoilers confirm that Anita and Vernon will be interrupted at a crucial moment. Who could possibly be interrupting Anita and Vernon? We know Anita and Ted and Vernon are currently in full damage control mode because Jacob's undercover identity has leaked, threatening the pristine Dupree family legacy. Could Ted be the one bursting through the bedroom doors, demanding Vernon's help to silence the press? Or perhaps the police, led by Marcel or Elon's goons, are knocking on the Dupree mansion doors looking for answers about the plasma ring? This perfectly mirrors legacy storylines from years ago, where powerful families like the Duprees or the Hamiltons could never enjoy a moment of peace because the family's dark secrets always came knocking at the absolute worst times. Anita's obsession with the Dupree public image will always ruin Anita's private happiness? Now, let us move to a storyline that has Beyond the Gates spoilers on the absolute edge of our seats. Joey turns to Bill for help with a massive problem, but instead, Joey realizes that things aren't quite right where the legal eagle is concerned. Oh my goodness, this is the breakthrough we have been waiting for. Joey is currently backed into a terrifying corner. Elon is making severe demands of Joey regarding the plasma ring leak, and Donnell is aggressively interrogating Joey about Joey's criminal connections. Joey desperately needs Bill's brilliant legal mind to navigate this dangerous mob warfare. But when Joey sits down with Bill, Joey's sharp criminal instincts kick in. Joey notices Bill shaking hands. Joey notices Bill's selective memory and physical deterioration. Joey realizes Bill is not acting like the sharp, formidable Bill that Fairmont Crest knows and respects. As we all know, Hayley is secretly slipping a slow-acting poison into Bill's drinks to stop Bill from investigating the disappearance of Lynette Wise. Hayley is literally murdering Bill in slow motion. Here is my controversial hot take. Joey Armstrong will be the savior of Bill Hamilton. Yes, you heard that right. Joey may be a corrupt casino boss with deep, dark mob ties, but Joey recognizes the signs of poisoning. Joey has lived in the criminal underworld for decades. Joey knows what a slow-acting toxin looks like. I personally believe Joey will connect the dots before Tomas or Kat ever do. Joey will realize Hayley is the true villain here, and Joey might just use this information to blackmail Hayley, or Joey might actually save Bill's life to secure a powerful legal ally. The dynamic between the corrupt casino boss and the poisoned lawyer is pure soap opera gold. Finally, we must discuss the most infuriating, toxic, and dangerous alliance forming in Fairmont Crest. Leslie once again finds Leslie trying to forge an alliance with Hayley. The spoilers ask, will what Leslie says to the would-be widow prove influential? Let's break this down. I ruthlessly despise Leslie. Leslie is a narcissistic, manipulative, walking red flag who constantly disrespects Shanice and uses people for Leslie's own gain. Leslie crashed Garland's press conference solely to protect the reputation of Leslie's free clinic, completely ignoring the fact that Derek, the general manager of Leslie's clinic, just died a hero. Leslie only cares about Leslie. And now, Leslie is approaching Hayley. The spoilers explicitly refer to Hayley as the would-be widow. That title sends absolute chills down my spine. Hayley is fully committed to letting Bill die. Hayley wants Bill dead so Hayley can bury the secrets of Lynette Wise forever. What could Leslie possibly say to Hayley? Leslie is likely trying to distance the free clinic from the plasma ring explosion, and Leslie needs Hayley's influence or money to secure the clinic's future. But what happens when a narcissistic opportunist like Leslie teams up with a cold-blooded, poisoning murderer like Hayley? Beyond the Gates, spoilers theorizes that Leslie might accidentally stumble upon Hayley's poisoning plot. If Leslie discovers that Hayley is murdering Bill, Leslie will not call the police. No, Leslie will absolutely blackmail Hayley. Leslie will use the knowledge of Bill's poisoning to force Hayley to fund the free clinic indefinitely. This is a match made in absolute hell. Two of the most toxic, self-serving characters in Fairmont Crest joining forces will bring unprecedented destruction to the canvas. I passionately hate both Leslie and Hayley, but watch